let's just pull up how markets have been reacting. And in fact, no surprise really, because markets, in any case, during budget speeches on budget days, usually are in the lower territory. And it's just when the fine print is available and the real direct sectoral impact is visible, that is when one tends to see some sort of an uptick, if any. But as things stand right now, we've seen a kind of fall that isn't quite normal even for budget day and from budget day standards. In fact, Nifty 50 is down 1.15% or so, just about kissing distance of 25,000 levels. It might just slip below 25,000 levels if the trend continues to be this way. Sensex, meanwhile, is also down. Sensex is down almost 1 full percentage point to about 81,500 odd levels, in fact, below that. And despite all that we've heard by way of export competitiveness, reduction in custom duties, which favor the MSME space and the manufacturers, we are seeing even the small cap and the mid cap space is taking a bit of a beating today. In fact, the small cap sector is down. The small cap 100 index is down 2.25 percentage point. Let's also try and pull up the Nifty 50 heat map and look at some of the large cap stocks and how their sectors and their specific stocks are responding to budget speech, which was just presented. And in fact, it seems to be pretty much a sea of red, except for just pharma sector. And again, given that those 17 cancer drugs are exempt from customs duty, so we see Sun Pharma up. We also see Dr. Reddy's up. Beyond that, the entire Nifty 50 heat map seems to be, in a sea of red. In fact, energy minerals, including Reliance, ONGC, Coal India, all down more than a percentage each. Coal India is down about 3.5% or so. Look at the banking and financial services side. In fact, SBI is down about 3.8% or so. And so is the case with Bajaj Finance, down about 2.2%. The entire auto sector, the entire consumer durable sector is also in the red. So overall, Shri, the market seems to be giving a very, very strong thumbs down to Budget 2026 at a time when they needed reassurance, at a time when we needed those foreign investors to trickle back into capital markets.
So this is a reflection of the market's disappointment, Karthik. We've spent the whole of last year pretty much stuck in the doldrums. Markets haven't gone anywhere. We've seen record FII outflow, 1,60,000 crore, which has gone out of the markets. So I think, and then on top of that, you have the STT, which has been like increased, which is, although, it's marginal, but I think what it does is hurts the sentiment. It tells you that the government, is not that market friendly. I think that's a signal that the, investors and market participants take from such a move. So I think it was needless anyway. We've gone ahead and done it. The big thing I think which the market have really missed is that there should have been some big growth drivers which the government would have announced, or some incentives to bring the FIIs back. I think these are some major misses, I would say. I mean, no one has, I haven't gone through the fine print yet. There may be something that we're missing, but I think the collective mood right now, as far as the market's concerned, that there is nothing which basically tells me that the year ahead is going to be much better than what we had, last year. So in terms of sentiment, this definitely has not boosted the market sentiment, and the market isn't finding anything right now to cheer about Budget 2026, Karthik.
Right, except for exactly 4 stocks in the green territory right now, Barnick, and all of them belonging to either the pharma space or the healthcare space. Max Health is up about 3.5%. Dr. Reddy's is up 0.6%. Sun Pharma is up about 1.2%. The only aberration in the 4 out of the 50 stocks on Nifty 50 which are in the green also happens to be Wipro, which is up about 1.3%. Is this to do with with something that we heard on on that exemption of I'm forgetting the term that the finance minister used, the safe harbor,
I think it might
investment.
be a safe harbor norm. Maybe it's a reflection on cloud services.
Yeah, tax holiday
and all of that. So listen, I think maybe, right? I don't think it's a terrible budget or a bad budget. I think it's a budget of continuity. It's a budget of continuing the progress. I think the only shortcoming of the budget is that it has not lived up to the hype the government itself created. I think people were expecting a bulletproof budget. The finance minister also used Reform Express, but there were very little reforms mentioned other than procedural reforms in customs duty. So I think let's look at the fine print of the budget when it gets announced. Even beyond the fine print, let's look at some of these new schemes which have got promulgated to see what kind of either tax holidays or investments the government is going to make. I think till some of that fine print is reviewed by everyone, I think the markets will continue to slide sideways, right? with no possibility of upside
So
unless
is it
something
because, Badik, because whatever has been announced will take time to be
Exactly.
implemented? You know, whether we are talking about textile park, whether we are talking about rare earth mineral, they've addressed it, but इनको implement करने में और इनका असर देखने में हमें समय लगेगा.
So देखिए पहले तो ये पार्क पे पार्क, right? लास्ट 10 साल से logistics park,
Parks,
textile
yes.
park. So ये पार्क पे पार्क हो जा रहा है, but there are no real parks. I'm just telling you. So I think a lot of people look at park policies and say, listen, where are the parks and what has really happened, right?
Yeah.
That being said, I think some other motions like the India Semiconductor Mission 1.0 was reasonably successful. Prime Minister announced a Mission 2.0. There are 2 other schemes which have come in. Let us see again the fine print of that. But the most important thing which India needs is foreign long-term capital, which is both portfolio investors and also direct investors. And there was nothing in the budget to suggest that there is something on ease of doing business.
Right.
There is at least an intent to have consistency in tax, right?
Right.
Some of these announcements actually investors look for before committing money. I didn't spot any such
Right.
intent at
Right.
least being
But
announced.
Badik, I want to also point out the rare earth mineral corridor which they've
Yeah,
spoken
before
about.
we come to that, Priyanka, मुझे क्षमा करिए, but मेरे ख्याल से ये फार्मा की स्टोरी भी काफी इंटरेस्टिंग है, क्योंकि निफ्टी 50 में तो हमें फार्मा में अपटेक दिख रहा है.
क्षमा किया हुआ है, आप फार्मा की बात कीजिए.
हमें in the larger Nifty, in the larger NSE 500 space, we are seeing a mixed reaction even on other pharma stocks. First,
क्योंकि उससे जुड़े अच्छे अनाउंसमेंट भी हुए हैं.
करेक्ट, पहले एक बार सुन लेते हैं वित्त मंत्री जी ने बोला क्या था फार्मा सेक्टर पे. We have that bite ready. Let's just listen into what Finance Minister said on the pharma space specifically.
Biopharma Shakti, meaning Biopharma strategy for health advancement through knowledge, technology and innovation. India's disease burden is observed to be shifting towards non-communicable diseases like diabetes, cancer and autoimmune disorders. Biologic medicines are key to longevity and quality of life at affordable costs. To develop India as a global biopharma manufacturing hub.
फार्मा पे फोकस जो है, मुझे लगता है ये टैरिफ का भी एक असर है यहाँ पर, क्योंकि ट्रम्प साहब जो हैं इससे लेकर के भी काफ़ी अपने बयान देते रहते हैं और मुझे लगता है ये फोकस जो है ये बजट में थम्स अप है, ये अच्छा मूव है. वेंकटेश, मैं आपके पास आना चाहूँगी और मैं पूछना चाहूँगी कि भाई आप बात कर रहे हैं मेडिकल टूरिज्म की, आप बात कर रहे हैं कुछ और, आप मेडिकल संस्थान जो खोलेंगे, जिसमें जो एक अच्छी बात मुझे सुनाई दी वो थी कि प्राइवेट पार्टिसिपेशन के साथ. लेकिन अगेन इसमें वही समस्या, ये सब हमें एक साल में नहीं होते हुए दिखने वाला है. ग्राउंड पर इसे उतरने में वक्त लगेगा. अ स्टेप इन द राइट डायरेक्शन डेफिनेटली, लेकिन इंप्लीमेंटेशन को लेकर वेंकटेश आपको क्या लगता है?
Yes, you're absolutely right, Priyanka. All of them are long-term implementation measures, apart from the removal of import duties on medical drugs, especially in the cancer space. Everything else will take time to play out, right from the Ayurveda centers, development. The development of the mitras in the markets across the country, right? All these are long-term measures. Long-term measures are required. Immediate impact measures are only the removal of import duties on the cancer drugs. That is the only thing that will play out in the short term. And like we are continuously discussing, that is what is showing on the pharma stocks as well for the last hour and a half.